How do you foresee this industry evolve over the course of the next 2 to 4 years? Also, one of the factors will be the HDFC merger. The other factor will be RBI regulations for NBFCs. So, can you paint a big picture for me on how you see the lending space evolve over the next 2 to 4 years?
Over the next, say, yeah, let's take 4 years because
Because
a
this will
year
all
or
take
two,
time. Yeah, I mean, it's not
exactly.
going to all happen in the next 6 months to 1 year.
I
So.
believe with the kind of scale-based regulations that RBI has come out with, it clearly separates the men from the boys. The larger, stronger, better provided for NBFCs have the opportunity to get even better and stronger. And many others, and that's what the scale-based regulation allows. RBI permits you to stay small and to stay within a more simpler regulated environment. So this is something that each NBFC has to choose for themselves. With Bajaj Finance, we're in a unique position that we take the best of regulations from banks. We are more conservative than we need to be, but we believe that that's how we build a strong, long-lasting business. And at the same time, in almost every business line, we are competing with the best banks in the country, and that's what we continue to do. Our focus on entrepreneurship, high level of empowerment with accountability, innovation. At any point of time, we have 150 different projects going on, and with tremendous ownership by the team. This is what creates a living culture which is reinventing itself all the time. I mean, after the first lockdown, when most people were stuck at home, we had a core team that went to work and said that, hey, this is a point of time that's available to us. Let's firstly look after the safety of our people and their families. We introduced a set of policies for that. And they said, let's get to work and let's rebuild this company for the next 5 years.
I'm going to talk about some of the steps that you all are taking. But before that, let me come back to this issue of what happens to large NBFCs. What happens? Because at one level, people are interpreting the RBI guidelines to suggest that eventually NBFCs, the arbitrage between banks and NBFCs, at least the large ones, will have to close. But on the other hand, NBFCs supported by industrial groups are unlikely to get bank licenses. So you're sort of stuck between, you know, a hard place and a rock, right? How do you navigate that?
Well, some of this is not clear. For example, I don't know of any good quality NBFC from a business house that has applied for a bank license in the last couple of years and has been denied one. Um, I see at this point of time, with the corporate bond markets growing, with the sources of capital available to NBFCs being more than enough for their current size, and with somebody like us with the 2 lakh crore size, if we can continue growing, there's no reason why others should not. Plus, if the HDFC and the bank merger takes place, there's some more headroom that becomes available for other good NBFCs because they'll go out of that NBFC
Space.
space. So I feel that for the next 3 years at least, growth is not a problem. And hopefully, in this period of time, becomes clearer for some of these NBFCs to decide, do they want to try and become a bank? Are they happy being an NBFC? I also believe that this digital world is changing businesses so far that a proper discussion within the banking sector, including the regulator, on what should the future of banking be? What is digital banking? What is physical banking? Is it the same monolith structure of the last 100 years which has not changed? Are we missing something as a
Yeah.
country, as a population, an opportunity? With the right safeguards in place. I don't have all the answers myself, but I believe an important discussion and a paper is required to help us as a country decide where we want to take banking and banking type of services
Right.
over the next 10 years.
What does that mean for Bajaj though? Are you guys considering applying for a banking license over the next couple of years? I know you've been asked this question many times before and you've said no, nothing in the near term. But I still got to
No, what
ask,
I've said,
especially if
Monica,
we expect
is
new regulations to kick in
yeah. So what I've
October.
said is that we review this once in 3 to 4 years and see that do we have a window of time over the next 3 to 4 years to continue as is, or is it a decision that we need to trigger? And at this point of time, we are still in that window where we can
So
choose to
these
wait and
regulations
watch.
kick in later this year, expectedly, right?
Yes, yes.
And one of the things that you had asked for when you anticipated the regulations will change for large NBFCs was an emergency funding window at the RBI, but that's not going to happen. So
that,
a lot
as you
of
know,
the
happened. As you know, that happened
it
last year
happened
through
as
the
a
crisis.
through the crisis, yes, but
now
not
the,
as
as a regular thing,
not as a
no,
backstop that
no, it's not.
exists. Yeah.
And it is something that we will engage with the RBI as well to say it's that the reason that you want to put something like that in place with the right guarantees. So if RBI is going to provide that, then the NBFC that wants to use that facility must provide the right security to RBI. And it's not that you will need to use it. RBI can make it expensive. But the fact that it's available, that there is a lender of last resort to the NBFC, creates tremendous confidence in the market with other borrowers, with the consumer, with somebody putting in money into your fixed deposit. It's to create that confidence that it becomes important. So we will engage with them and see what they say, whether we can persuade them or
So
not.
at this point in time, no immediate plan for a banking
No, no
license.
plans right now.
Okay. Do you see if these when these new regulations come into play, any dramatic change in the way you do
No,
business?
not for us.
None whatsoever.